Let's rock.
Oh, are we going right now?
Yeah, right now, you good?
I didn't tell money. Hey, this is Jewel Tankard, and I'm so excited to be talking to you about the new rules of money. Oh my gosh. I mean, think about that. Like growing up, who really sat you down and was like, okay, this is what you need to do with your money. This is how you grow your money. And of course, parents or grandparents or elders, they can't teach what they don't know. So I always had like this huge like curiosity. How was it that like, it seemed like the rich got richer, like for real. And then it seemed like the poor got poorer, or maybe not even poor, but it seemed like even if a person hit like middle class, right, they were able to pay their bills, maybe live in a nice house, drive a nice car, maybe even send the kids to college or private school, but you never really just saw them like get like over where they were able to really continue to grow. And so that became a real interest of me, and I ended up studying it at the University of Michigan, getting a degree in econ, and then I've also been really blessed to be mentored by several multi-millionaires in the real estate industry, oil industry, and then also precious metals industry, and then Forex and cryptocurrency. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about what I've learned, what I've been able to actually execute and implement, not just in my life, but in the lives of thousands of people literally all over the world. And so one of the first things that I want to tell you is that there's a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, today we are in an Uber economy, okay? We're in an Uber economy. Now, most people went to like traditional school, right? So they have like traditional schooling, and in that traditional schooling, they taught you things like, you know, make sure that you have all the, you know, that you've done all this studying and that you feel like you have all the answers before you take what, like the test. So they wanted you to get all the answers, and then after that, they said, okay, then you can take the test, and not before, because in other words, if you end up not having all the answers and you took the test, then you would fail the test, right? So it wasn't this whole mindset that we see today in the Uber economy. And all the Uber economy is basically is taking just like a random idea, right? This is just like random idea. Oh, I got an idea. Like I read about the guy who, Instacart, for example, it's an app. You can go to your app store, download Instacart, and actually start ordering groceries from your app. I use it all the time. I remember one day I was telling my sister, oh, we need to run to the grocery store. She's like, who goes to the grocery store? And so we downloaded Instacart on my app, and I've been hooked ever since. But anyway, this guy, growing up in New York, it'd be really cold, lots of snow, and he would have to go grocery shopping as a young teenager, and he remembered thinking, this is so crazy. I gotta take the bus to go to the grocery store, then I gotta load up all those groceries, and then I gotta take the bus back home. This is crazy. Why don't we have a service that delivers? And so thus, Instacart was built. So he took the random idea, it came out of passion, it came out of his story, and then what did he do? He mixed it with technology, right? So he was like, let me add some technology on there. So basically he understood that if I put this in a digital space, then it can also be in a global space, which allows you to now take advantage of the global economy, right? So smart. And so that's pretty much what an Uber economy is. And so we see things like, I said, Instacart, and then we see things like Airbnb, which was another brilliant idea. These guys were just having a party, and they said, we'll rent out some space. It's for spring break, and it was really successful. And they were like, oh, what if we partner with other people who already own their homes and let them rent out space, and now we can profit share. So now both this Airbnb is now $1 billion brand. And then of course, Uber itself, how did that get started? The guy was tired of waiting for taxi cab services in San Francisco. He said, this is crazy. He called his friend. His friend wasn't interested. He kept at his friend. One day his friend was watching TV, and he was watching Casino Royale with James Bond, who was always running from somebody with a bad chick in the side, right? And he was looking at his phone, and he could see that this car was in pursuit of him, because, you know, somebody always chasing him. And his friend thought, wow, wouldn't that be a good idea if people could actually see where their driver, how far their driver was? What if they could see how many minutes they were away? What if they could see the actual street? And that's pretty much how Uber was birthed. So again, it was a random idea, they pair it with technology, right? They got the right players involved, they got the right people involved, IT, marketing, and now Uber is a billion-dollar brand. So now why did I explain that? Because I want you to understand, first of all, that I think one of the main attributes to becoming wealthy, besides getting education, because education is huge, but also developing a healthy risk tolerance, right? You got to understand that you can't be afraid to take risks. Taking risks are very, very important, right? Everybody, at some point, you're going to have to say, you know what? I'd rather step out, take a risk, and make a mistake than not do anything at all, right? It's scary when people don't make any kind of moves at all. And unfortunately, most people have developed their discipline to work with their hands, but there's nothing wrong with working with your hands. But I want to encourage you and challenge you to develop a discipline, to develop your intellect, to develop how you think, to mastermind, to solve problems, to ask questions, to become the most curious person in the room, right? I love when people ask questions. I love asking questions because it's how you learn, right? Don't ever just sit there in a presentation, somebody says you have a question, and you sit there and say nothing. No, get curious, right? Because that's going to allow you to explore. At the end of the day, the person that solves the problem, not just for yourself, but for humanity. Because if it's a problem for you, it's probably a problem for your sister, probably a problem for your brother. And guess what? You solving that problem could end up being a billion-dollar idea, right? So anyway, you've got to be able to develop a healthy risk tolerance, knowing that you have to be willing to take a risk, right? And then there's something else that you have to do, is you have to be willing to learn and earn. Oh my gosh. This piece is so vitally important, right? Because remember, traditional school says, learn, then take the test. But in the Uber economy, it's like, let me learn and earn, right? Let me grow and go, right? So while I'm on the go, I'm growing, I'm learning. I'm making mistakes, but I'm also getting some wins, right? I'm asking some questions, I'm getting some answers, I'm retweaking, I'm rethinking. Like, you have to stay adaptable, you have to stay adjustable, and make yourself say, you know what, I'm gonna be adaptable, I'm gonna be just like a little Play-Doh stuff you used to play with when you were a kid, where they could squeeze it and you could make it, whatever you wanted to make it. That's how you have to be in your thinking, because everything is changing. And guess what? I tell people all the time, even if you say, well, I don't like technology and I'm not really a tech person. You don't have to be a tech person. You just have to be a person that understands that I have to continue to learn new ideas and new concepts, right? Because here's the thing about it, that even if you made a decision that I don't want to keep learning new ideas and new concepts, like, they're not going to stop creating. Think about this. Just a couple years ago, there was no PayPal, right? Now PayPal, pretty much everyone at some point, even if you don't use it in your business, at some point you've used PayPal. So you've used PayPal to pay for items, or maybe someone is paying you. It's basically a transactional platform where money is exchanged, right? Think about this. A couple years ago, there was no Cash App. Right? Who would have told, if somebody told you 5 years ago that you could move money from one phone to another, you would have been like, are you kidding? How are they going to do that? Now, literally, you can send money from one phone to another, just like that. My honey Ben can send me whatever amount of money you want at any time on Cash App. That is crazy. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this feature. There's another feature now on Cash App, and that feature is Bitcoin. Okay, where you actually now can purchase Bitcoin on your Cash App. Guys, that is like game changer. Yeah, that's a game changer. So let me explain to you what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin, first of all, it is a digital currency, and it spends just like your $5 in your wallet, or your $50 in your wallet, or your $100 in your wallet. It spends. You can't touch it. It's almost like the iPhone. When you go by, you went and bought maybe the new iPhone 11 or the 10 or any of them, they have what they call iCloud, right? And most of you that have iPhone, you're using iCloud all the time, but you've never seen it, right? Because it's in a digital space, but you still leverage the platform. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. You're not going to be able to see it, but it's a digital currency that you need. And in 2010, Bitcoin was hitting at about $200, give or take, and now today, 2019, Bitcoin has been hanging out for a while, right between, 10,500. I think this year it got up to, I don't know, maybe 13, 14,000, something like that. The end of last year, that thing spiked up almost to $20,000, right? Now, it's said to be projected that by 2022, we might see Bitcoin anywhere between $300,000 and $500,000. Oh, imagine if you would have bought Bitcoin in 2010. Even actually, earlier this year, the beginning of this year, 2019, Bitcoin was hanging out right around $3,500. I hope some of y'all got in on that, right? So now, if you bought Bitcoin at $3,500 and now it's hanging out right around $10,500, which I think we're going to see it break out soon, and probably run back up to 16, maybe even 20, 25,000 before the end of 2019. Imagine what kind of profit this is. See, most people are afraid of the V word. The V word is volatility. Don't be afraid of volatility. The key with volatility, this is how the wealthy make their money. They make their money in the moves, right? So everything about business, investing in particularly is what I want to talk about, is that the money is made in the moves. And so the key is to know when to enter the market and when to exit the market. These two places are vital. That's real important. Because if I buy Bitcoin at $500,000 and maybe it'll get to $550,000, but really I shouldn't be getting in. That's an exit place. This would be an entry place for Bitcoin, or here, and really honestly even here, right? And so we have a whole platform where we can teach you when you should be buying Bitcoin. Not just Bitcoin, but there are other what we call alternative coins, okay? So there's cryptocurrency, right? And this is real, this is not a scam. Crypto is not a scam. It's like real money. Digital currency, and if you own it, it turns into now a digital asset, right? So we want to teach you about cryptocurrency and then also teach you about what we call alternative coins or altcoins, okay? And not all cryptocurrency necessarily needs to be accumulated. Cryptocurrency, basically by definition, is it solves a problem, right? It's mined, okay? And engineers mine it, and they only made so much crypto of each. So there's a great supply and demand. So what happens is that more people begin to buy Bitcoin, right? Then what ends up happening is the demand goes up. And when the demand goes up, what else goes up? The price goes up. And because there's only so many, the supply goes down, right? So again, this is why it's so important to enter into these kinds of markets. And so we have a complete financial educational platform that will teach you when to buy cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrencies to buy, when to enter, right? Because this is the part that people are afraid of. Oh, volatility! Volatility is your friend. Remember, it's all about if I enter in the market at the right time and I exit the market at the right time, I want to learn what cryptos I should buy, what alternative coins I should buy, because like with altcoins, Ripple today is sitting at 32 cents, right? So you can buy up a bunch of Ripple, buy up a bunch of it, and then imagine you buy a bunch of Ripple, let's just say at 32 cents, but then it goes to $10 in the next year, the next 2 years. This is why if you Google crypto billionaires or crypto millionaires, all kinds of stuff comes up because more people have become millionaires and multimillionaires within just the last 12 months, the last 24 months, because of the timing, right? Everything is about timing. It's just like if you started buying gold, right? When gold was $100 an ounce, $500 an ounce, $900 an ounce. Now gold is about $1,500 an ounce. So would it have been a good time to buy gold at $900 an ounce? Absolutely. Is it still a good time to buy gold? Yes, it is, because gold is going to continue to go up. It's a hedge against inflation, just like crypto is a hedge against inflation. And so should you be saving money? Cash, having liquidity, of course you should, but more so into assets, right? And so that's one of the things that we want to talk to you about more in detail what financial apps you can use because, for example, like with cryptocurrency, there's a Coinbase app, there's Binance, there's Cryptopia, there's several different platforms, cryptocurrency platforms that actually hold your money, and then we'll also talk to you about securing that cryptocurrency. So there's another app that can actually secure your cryptocurrency so that it cannot be hacked, or you can use something called a ledger. So you're gonna get all of this education, right? These kinds of things are literally changing how we do everything, and it's not gonna go away. So I wanna encourage you today, from everything that you listen to, make a decision. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Make a decision, because wealthy people make decisions. And I prophesy over your life, you are wealthy. You're not staying where you at. You are not designed, you are not born to stay where you are. God has so much more for you. All you gotta do is get aggressive, right? And so I wanna encourage you to make a decision today, right, that I'm getting ready to learn. I'm getting ready to learn about new ideas, new concepts. I'm going to learn how volatility can work for me. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to learn and earn. I'm going to grow and go, right? I'm not going to overanalyze. I'm not going to overthink. I'm not going to have analysis paralysis. I just keep thinking and keep thinking. And child, you think about that same concept 5 years ago. Now everything has changed, right? You don't want to continue to pass over opportunities repeatedly. That's poor. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. Get the education, right? The days of I gave somebody my money and they gonna grow it and da-da-da-da. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, if you really want to be wealthy, you need to understand how money is working. And not just how to make more money, but how to multiply your money, right? So I want you to get on jeweltankard.com and you'll see a plethora of things that we offer from. If you want more information on how to start saving gold and silver, you can do that. If you want more information and say, I want to start trading foreign currency and cryptocurrency. I want some more information about real estate. Hey, I want to invest in oil wells. We'll make sure we connect you with any one of our partners that we've been partnered with over the years that we trust and connect you to that so you can start developing wealth today. Remember, it takes two things to become wealthy. First of all, you gotta make a decision, right? That's so important. Make the decision, child. And then secondly, you gotta start. Start where you are. So we look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye.